Um, Hello. I'm sitting here in a cozy cabin in the northern part of Öland, a Swedish island, with the beautiful Leona Frantzich. And I just heard her play her music on this beautiful piano here, so I feel very moved in my heart, very touched. And I'm so grateful to be here with you to make this interview, and I'm so happy you wanted to share with us in the Be Woman online presence. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm very honored and grateful to be a part of this. Thank you. Thank you to Julia and Charada as well.
So Leona will also play some more music for us later. And tell us a little bit about your album, this Kvinnlig Kraft, Feminine Force.
So I just released my debut album called Kvinnlig Kraft, meaning feminine force. And it's really an album by women honoring the goddesses and the sisterhood. So the music is a combination between folk music and some songs that I made and some mantras, and some of them are a little bit modern with beats. And the text celebrates women in different shape. Everything from mothers to Mother Nature to warrior goddesses like Durga.
Yeah, it's so powerful, really, the music. And when I listen to it, I can really feel the force in it, and it's like the essence is goddess. And I've heard you say that also, and I'm curious, what does the goddess mean to you?
At the moment, honestly, the goddess means almost everything to me. Everything I do creatively or also in my everyday life, I devote it to the goddess. It's actually that I actually feel the goddess coming through me and being a part of what I do. So it's like I'm opening a channel for her to just have her way, you know? And she has different ways of doing things, but very often I notice she wants to be playful and she wants to be quite feminine, and she definitely wants to co-work with women and connect with other women. It's a very essential thing. So creating this album was a very deep process, almost like I would call it life-changing process, to be honest. It was the full work, you know, working with myself, making sure that I always stayed connected to my material, so it wouldn't become some kind of process that I was looking from the outside. It was very important for me that I felt this coming from within. And that was a huge part of most of the material, that I opened up and I felt it coming from a deep place within. And that's how I came up with the name as well, because I felt this feminine force from bubbling inside me and coming up and out. But it wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have stayed absolutely open for it, you know? No mind, only open channels. Yeah. So it's been a process. I started working on it about a year ago, and I just released it in the end of August. And
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a lot of work. But I'm really grateful and proud that it's out there, you know. It's been a roller coaster.
It's like your child or your creation, like your
Honestly, it felt like I gave birth to a child. I swear to God, I felt like and I could feel like the cramps as we got closer to the release date. And I, like, the last days before it was happening, it was all tears, and then when I released it, it was like such a waterfall of emotions, because it was such a big process and something really honest coming from within. So yeah, it feels like I gave birth to this album. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your background as a musician and and how, yeah, a little bit about your background and how this beautiful album happened.
Well, I started like as a kid. I was probably 6 when I started playing the piano, and then I started playing the violin, and I was a music kid, you know. I did everything with the music when I was a kid. Then I became 24 and I started studying music. So I studied for 4 years at the music conservatory and different folkhögskolor. And after that I started to attending an education to be a music producer. And I'm doing my final year in this one. It's a bachelor. And yeah, it's always playing, always singing. And I started writing my own material maybe 2014. But then about a year and a half ago, when I was in India, I realized I want to create something of all of this flow that is coming through me. So I decided I will make an album, and the message was very clear, like that I want to do it cooperating with women as much as possible. So about a year ago I started working on this album, and I have been working on it for a year, and it was released in late August.
Wow. And now we will listen to the first song. And do you want to tell us a little bit about what it is about?
Yes, so this song came through me during a time when I was living in India, and everybody who's ever been to India or the Himalayas, or more specifically the river Ganga, knows that that's a very transformative place. So I spent a few weeks living next to the river Ganga, or Ganga Ma, and I bathed in her every morning. And the river Ganga is extremely transformative. She can transform, she can heal you, but she wants something back. So I offered back little songs or little poems, or, you know, whatever. And it was during this period that I felt such a transformation, and this song came through me. So it's called Heaven is Open in the Himalayas, or in Swedish, Himlen är öppen i Himalaya.
Tre dagar av tystnad. I en högljudd dröm. Livet vill tala. Ett språk jag nästan glömt. Regnet kommer snart, och jag kommer hem. Jag ger tårar till Ganga när ingen ser. Bergen får höra varje tår falla ner. Himlen är öppen i Himalaya. Jag ger tårar till ganga när ingen ser. Bergen får höra varje tår falla ner. Himlen är öppen i Himalaya. Himlen är öppen i Himalaya. Himlen är öppen i Himalaya.
Thank you for that beautiful song. And you told me about the sisterhood and the sisterhood's importance to you. And you chose also to work with only women when creating this album. Do you want us to tell us a bit about that process, finding the sisterhood and yeah, what it meant to you?
So it basically started, it's all because of the way I grew up, more or less. I grew up with two brothers, always wanting to be like the boys, always striving to be one of the boys or like the boys. And I actually didn't realize that I was a woman until maybe 4 years ago. And that's when I realized that A, I'm a woman, B, if I'm a woman, there may be this magical world that I can be a part of, where women meet each other and women connect with each other. So the last couple of years has been a journey for me to connect with women and connect to the feminine in me. And through different spiritual practices, workshops, etc. And it's such a magical place, this sisterhood, because it's not only that it's rainbows and unicorns and, you know, glitter and a lot of playfulness, but it's also this ability I've noticed that we as women, we can actually go into each other's feelings or each other's persons and become that for a while, you know. It's amazing. I can for a little moment I can come into your story and I can actually be part of what you're feeling in it. I can feel it like it as it were my own. I can feel your pain or I can feel your joy when you are sharing something, when we're in it together. And that's deeper and more advanced than any other connection I've ever felt. And I can honestly say that the sisterhood is actually the love of my life. So when it came to me that I would do this album, I knew very early that in order for me to really connect with the feminine and let feminine force come out, I wanted to do it as much as possible with women. So I've been finding female producers, female musicians, and also with doing music videos that I'm doing at the moment. I co-work with women. And so the sisterhood is incredibly important for me at this moment, both creatively and as an identity. So it's it has meant a lot to me, the sisterhood.
Beautiful. And you are also now educating to become a producer, or how do you feel? Is it hard to be a woman in that world, or is it? How is that?
I mean, it's there's a lot of female music producers, and there definitely could be much more of them. So I'm studying a bachelor in music production, and it's a constant involvement with the teachers and with the program in order not to have stereotypes, because there are so many stereotypes And every example I see in the books or a movie, an instruction movie, whatever, it's 99% men who are doing the job, or who is in the picture, or who is getting the interview. And it's an ongoing work, I would say, to have that conversation with the teachers, to make them aware that if I never see a woman doing what I want to do, it is hard for me to see myself doing that, you know? I sometimes I think, who would hire me in this video, in this instruction video of a workplace? There's nobody who is me, you know? I'm not one of those. So it's a constant work with you know, getting the stereotypes out and realizing how many great women, female producer and entrepreneurs there are within this industry. There's so many, and we need to be more.
So you're like a Maha Durga Devi in the classroom.
It's always like, I would say like 5 times each class, I am the one who goes, or she, because the teacher may say, so the producer, he wants to do this, or he usually does, you know, and I always go, or he, or she, you know. I'm that pain in the ass that reminds them. And they're not bad, but we all have to realize that every time we say he, the music producer, subconsciously it is put in us that it's a male who is doing the work, subconsciously. And it's not. That's not how the reality looks. So yeah, fighting the fight.
Yeah, so grateful you are doing that when you're there. Do you have like an advice for women who wants to come into this world but feel a little like it's overwhelming, or yeah, do you have an advice?
I would say I say it again and again, but to connect with women when you want to do these things that are typically male dominated, you know, because there are other women, and by connecting with them you can actually learn together. Yeah. So that was a huge thing for me, to not try to be part of the boys' world in music production, but to actually just find the women doing it and doing it together with them. Other than that, I mean, I don't want to use the phrase take your space, but I do want to say that keep practicing, to when there is an opportunity, it's everybody, and we are 5 people who knows music production. It's everybody's responsibility, almost more than opportunities. Everybody's responsibility to go ahead and turn the knobs and push the buttons and, you know, do what we want to. And because it's something we all have to practice, and something I definitely had to learn myself, that if there is an opportunity, it's as much my time to try, and we have to practice to take that space, you know, because it's not obvious where to do it. But it's something I had to keep telling myself to work with this was to, you do it. I saw the mic was wrong, I saw the mic was off, you do it, I told myself, and then I ran to the stage and corrected the mic or whatever. And we have to do the work just to learn these things.
Yeah, and I remember when you told me about how you felt before, like that the technical world was a bit masculine, but how you realized that the goddess is very much in the technique.
I did.
Well.
I mean, growing up with brothers, I was never allowed to touch the technical stuff. And then as an adult, that stayed in me. I thought that was masculine, that's what men do. But then when I started this education, this bachelor, and I had to start pushing the button, then I had to start turning the knobs, I noticed that there's so much playfulness in turning knobs, and at the same time you hear what's happening in music production. I hear it while I turn the physical knob or the digital knob sometimes. And that there's so much playfulness and creativity in that process, which I used to think was only something for the men. And it's also amazing because I can zoom out and I can actually see how different technical stuff are connected to each other, and I can feel how the electricity or how it's moving, you know, like I can follow the flow of one technical aspect turning into a microphone, turning into speakers, turning into my headphones, turning into a full song. So yeah, that's how I see it now.
And you have also like a more electronic beats in some of your songs, and it's like you have many different roots, the mantras and the folk music, and is it like different parts of yourselves coming together?
I would definitely say so. So the music is a mix between folk music, there's modern beats in it, and there's Indian influences. So that's 3 pretty big genres coming together, and that's the way I felt the music coming through me. It turns out it makes it impossible to put me in a box, or the music in a box, because it doesn't fit into one box that the music industry has created. But in a way I think like, okay, I'm sorry, I have 3 different genres. I consist of many types of music in me, you know? It's only because that's what comes through me. I have more than one. The folk music is my background. I played a lot of Swedish and traditional folk music. And the mantras is obviously something I discovered going to India and connecting with them, connecting more to yoga. And the beats is something I'm learning and developing. And on the album I worked a lot with the producer called Rebecca Slogefors. And she comes from a more of a pop side. And she was the one who could really make these beautiful productions happen. Especially for the first 3 songs. There is the whole album is very different from the beginning to the end. So the first 3 songs have this new sound that I'm working on and working towards, where I incorporate the modern, connecting that with old traditional songs or my own melodies. And then as the album goes, it gets more and more scaled off and more simple. And the last song is literally just a fiddle, a violin, and the stomp of my foot on a wooden floor. So playing an old Swedish traditional song. So it's going from the sound I have today and back to my roots.
Beautiful. And now we will hear the last song. Yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about that? You wrote that one in India too as well.
I did. So I wrote it when I was on the East Coast. I sat in a cafe, I was traveling alone. I wrote the melody. And not long after I went to the West Coast and I traveled in Kerala. And there are a lot of backwaters in Kerala where you take a slow boat traveling on these slow rivers. So I wrote the song, and then I put a Kundalini Mantra on it, which is Om Namo Gurudev Namo, which is a mantra to tune in and get in touch with your higher self before you start your mantra session, your yoga session, sorry. And then I also realized that the song has spoken words to it, which came through me when I was on my way to Amma's ashram in Kerala, Amritapuri, and so there was a spoken word part where I honor Amma, who is one of the greatest goddesses of all, embracing people and healing people through her embrace. So the song is the Kundalini Mantra combined with spoken words of honoring Amma and her work that she do.
Wow.
Om Namo Gurudev. Om Gurudev. Om Namo Gurudev. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev. Om Namo Gurudev. Om Namo Gurudev. Om Namo Gurudev. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. The river takes us where we need to go. We float on this river, it flows in us. Along these backwaters, a true goddess resides. She embraces everyone that seek the truth. We float on this river, it flows in us. The river takes us where we need to go. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo.
Thank you so much for this song. And now I'm very curious, like, where are you now and where are you seeing yourself in the future with your music?
At the moment, what the album is about is to make the songs sound good live as well. So I'm working on putting together the material so I can actually play it live. And I have a vision of me and two women doing a trio thing for the songs. And so that's what I'm doing with the album at the moment. I also started writing new material, and I can see a single being released in maybe, I don't know, March next year, around that time. I also started working with some music videos. So I have one music video out, which we will show. I made with Cecilia, and there are more to come. So video is a new format that is quite exciting to put together with the songs. Other than that, I'm playing a lot with a band called Sisters, we're 4 women playing mantras from the Kundalini tradition, but also material that we wrote ourselves. And so we're planning for the summer 2020, and we're starting to record for our first EP to come out. So that's very exciting. But musically, just continue doing the work, basically. I'm not gonna relax now that my album is out. I'm gonna keep doing the work and keep staying true. And and the songs will be, like I said, some kind of modern beat together with my songs, or maybe mantras. So it's exciting. It's definitely, the album was the first brick, you know, and now I'm gonna keep putting them.
Beautiful. And the sisterhood, you feel, will still be like a strong part of your work to work with women?
Oh, definitely. I think, honestly, I'm not sure if I can't see myself in any other way at the moment, you know. I love this because the honest level of honesty in the work, it's just it's incredible, and it's very, very, it gets very pure and very real. And it's to make honor as well my work, to not just say, oh, whatever, I'll record it today quickly somewhere, but actually follow through and make sure that the recording is in a way that is supporting the femininity that wants to come out through the songs. So yeah, I'm always looking for women to connect with, to co-work with, to make music videos, make music, arrange concerts. At the moment, I guess concerts and music videos are my main focus for this album. And then writing new. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of fun things. I look forward to it a lot. I'm doing it. It's my pleasure.
And I'm also a bit curious about the mantra part. It has such a big part in your music. Like how, what do you like or love about mantras?
Mantras has been coming in and out of my life for different reasons for a couple of years now. And at the moment, it's just when I sing mantras, because of the simplicity, quote unquote, not simplicity in the pronunciation or the words, it's usually Sanskrit or Gurmukh, and it can be difficult, but still the repetitivity that it keeps repeating, and still kind of the simpleness in the words once you know them, makes the vibrations when I sing them really, I can feel them in my whole system. So they have a few different aspects, but I love them a lot, and I also honor the traditions of mantra. Like I usually say that it's beautiful to sing mantras, and it can definitely give you a taste of the vibrations and the healing that can happen. But if you're serious about mantras, I suggest you have to study them a bit and really get into what they're actually meaning and what their purpose is, so that we don't forget where these mantras actually come from. Because the truth is, we went to India and we found these mantras, and we shouldn't sing them or take them just because we can. We have to remember to honor where they're actually coming from and what's their original purpose. Not that we have to stay in the past or not let the mantras evolve. We should, but we also need to remember that these mantras are coming from a very, very holy place, and we need to honor that. We need to honor that because we can and we have gotten them from somebody. So it's really important in my book to remember the history and the roots of the mantras.
That's a beautiful and important part of it. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your heart with us.
Thank you.
So unfortunately the video cut, but we will record the last part with Leona on the piano in the other hand, which is beautiful. So thank you again so much from all of my heart that you wanted to share your music and your presence with us.
Thank you so much, Julia, and thank you to Sharada as well. It's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you. So now we will hear the last song.
Yes.
And tell us what it is about.
So this is a little tune that I wrote after my first time in Ängsbacka in Sweden. Big community place, I think many people know it. And I was there for a weekend maybe 4 years ago, and I was completely blown away by what was going on there and the energy of that place, basically. So I came home and I thought to myself, I felt very full of love, and I said to myself, what's the most beautiful thing I could say in music right now? Like, how would this love sound? So I started playing on my violin a small tune, and it formed into a song, and it's on the album. So it's called Song to Molkom, and in Swedish it's Visa to Molkom. Thank you so much. Jema.